Exactly.
Still, Loud had great retake, so we'll see how it kind of fiddles out here. The 3-2 split to start things off, and really kind of set back defense by Loud to not give anything away as we get a quick guiding light for it.
Blinded.
Just going to find a bit of information at the beginning, but still a stalemate. And you bring up a great point about fighting towards this B heaven. Something that C9 or just MRBR hasn't done at all. So we didn't really see like a Gecko being tested into the B sites, but for C9, it seems like it might be the play to start there. The Trailblazer will fake up towards the A ramp, and soon the 3 players creeping up from C9 towards B. Tweez just around the corner with the Frenzy. First contact still waiting to start here for week number 2 of the Americas. As 53 seconds are left on the clock. A Nebula being called up. Recall now for the swing out. But it's a 1v1 over there trying to close in onto Zeppa. Around the corner. It's still going to be Tweez with the first blood. But then we push in towards the A site. Fighting back over on that area, and C9 rotates right away.
That if they were wondering how it would work if they didn't have that pressure on A by a Viper Cypher, it looks like Zelsis is going to be hanging around, activating the turret in mid to prevent a flank, and still is able to hold site. So mid A hold by Zelsis. They're able to kind of fake it again, pull Loud around, but still hit that retake on B. It's planted. This 2v4 is going to be tough for Loud.
Footsteps are being heard towards the spawn, while Les is fighting towards the entrance of the B site. Two is just waiting there with the Frenzy. So that flank watch now has to come into responsibility of Leaf. Fault line from Rooney from the back of the site, just running this clock down. And C9 are running the perfect protocols. Finally, one more to go, and it's C9, the first one to answer in this series.
A dominant pistol as well. Really no hesitation to be able to get in. Zeppo with just an absolute W forward on a blast pack, but it was almost to see the reaction of what happened to the rest of the map. Zelsis is able to get timing off of that rotation going into B. Really well worked and orchestrated for a pistol round there. Loud's gonna go ahead, Aspas on a shorty. We'll see where they stick this. Up towards Heaven. Also watching how Loud kind of situate Kawanzin and Sadak, because you get that full combo of the Sky, of the Gecko. Here they actually have it from both sides of it.
Blinded.
On both sides of mid, the first pressure comes in. Sadat trying to jump around, trying to jump spot to see if anybody's gonna peek through from Cloud9. But a default play, passive play. Now starting to engage slowly behind the Trailblazer on the top. But it's 4 players of Loud already here. 2 on each side. At vents and also towards the B heavens.
Just seeing how much they can get out of this Loud squad, so the defense becomes that much softer to hit. 2 frags coming out for C9 as that's fast, able to trade 1.
There's that first protocol, how you pressure into that B heaven. You saw Rooney inside, Ramen going for the fault line. Something that has to be now learned and identified by Loud into the future rounds once we get these rifles coming in. But as we open up towards vents, C9 moves into the A site. We'll get an open site to plant.
Really neat to watch Zelsis kind of play around that turret activation. Pulls it back as the team gets the spike plant as well. And now it's a kind of a 3-pronged attack, or at least defense on what damage they can do as C9 exits before the full team rushes in here. It looks like 2 vent towards 1 back hall. Stinger on Aspas, so that could be good. It's wingman checking. Good corner clears. Again, in just a few seconds. They have a lot of time.
Slugs just keeps running over and picking up the little orbs. Making sure they have what it takes. Another fault line to come through off the other cooldown from Rooney. Allows for C9 to move up. This is a cleanup now towards A heaven. Sadak had low HP from the beginning. A nice anti-eco for Cloud9 as they only lose 2 players.
Again, only 2 go down, which means the economy is going to look nice coming into these rounds. We'll see what kind of full buys we get from C9. 3 Phantoms across the board to match up against this buy round. Actually, they sold one out just to get full armor on Leaf here and make sure the utility is there to hit. They're going to have to see how Loud plays, I think, even slower here. It's either a super slow round or they W, and they could be a 5 towards B to start off. Where's the ultimate for... Where's Zeppa at? It's kind of far away, but they have Zelsis.
Exactly. All grouped up are C9. 1 Aura wave again in the lockdown. As that turret is watching a very forward push on a flank. So indicating a potential death ball for C9 into this B site. Orb now picked up, fault line in, flash the execution. But a Nebula just holds them in their tracks. Nobody's flanking yet. And C9's looking to use his lockdown.
Still pretty much full stars for Jake here. Dismissed what was in heaven, places another one, so it looks like the re-hit will come through. They have numbers for Loud, though. The gamble stack is there. They're just leaving Aspas at A here to figure out if Jake is lurking behind.
There's no util left for Rooney, so the only initiation is going to be Lisa's flash, which brings it in. Satchel's also from Zeppa. B site is now open and cleared by the lockdown as a plant comes in for B main. A full 5-player retake for Loud as a flash goes in for spawn. Indication of 1 player for C9 to get ready on that pulse plant. On the other end, though, Loud looking to initiate back on their own flashes, dropping from B heaven. Zeppa on the first blood, but gets quickly traded out by CLOUD9. All 4 players of Loud still stuck towards the top. As Rooney fights from the middle. Make that even 3 for him. And that's a lockdown and a shutdown for C9 on a pulse plant.
C9 hit the site quickly. Another retake instance as well. Sourcing information, starting a little misdirection as they back up, and then after planting, the important thing is they are all set up to either avoid or trade, do this ping pong off each other based on the Sky and the Dizzy coming through. That guiding light Dizzy combo hit at the same time. Nobody was affected. Cloud9 was ready. They're thinking these things through and are steps ahead of Loud right now. Bonus round to Cloud9 there.
Free guns picked up too. Money is flowing for the attack. Trailers are coming out on the defense, and as we react for Cloud9 off what they saw, it's the fallback and hopefully play some sort of crossfire deep inside A. C9 relentless. Fall line open up already. Out of bullets as it's going to be an easy bait to allow Zeppa to move in for 2 entries. Trailers are spawning 2 more towards the top, stunning on this attack. The assist comes in. You know, we were looking at the beginning when we had the interview from MCE talking about how C9's looking. They're a new team, but they're looking like they're flushed out. Everything's looking really good for this team on how they're working their attack.
And you don't know that yet. He said there's not much tape to watch on us. So using that, the double-edged sword seems to be swinging their way at this point. We're still very early. We're going to see ults come up here for Loud soon. This is just going to be Tui's with the Sheriff here. There's a nice shot on the Zelzis. At least delete some of these weapons. That economy for Cloud9 is just too good at this point. Rooney as well, just solid with the headshots throughout this match. Last week to this week, the gap doesn't matter. It's like he kept playing. We'll see as we get into this next round. Ultimates are coming up. Cosmic Divide, Aspas 1 away, so the operator comes in knowing that investment can happen with the way they can fold into the ultimate next round. So this is where it either needs to turn around or could turn around for Loud, but if Cloud9 stops this, they get another few rounds to themselves pretty easily.
Rooney on his agent showing that he's not only good at shooting, but also doing great with the utility. And for this round, exactly.
Oh my word.
Loud still trying to find an answer into the first half. It comes with an operator into this round, but it starts off with a Rolling Thunder. Aspas is not affected. Looking up towards heaven, but misses the shot. A rare miss coming out from Aspas as they're finding close. Jake with the shorty drops CLOUD9. And there's only 1 more player stuck inside of the site. No way of escape.
Right to the throat. Rolling Thunder to start it off, making sure the operator wasn't close. It didn't matter. Zeppa's still up top of B heaven.
Finally, with this gap, Tuiz comes back.
Healing over here.
It's feel like nearly impossible for the retake to happen for Loud. Unless we get lucky on some shots, some over-peaking like this coming out from C9. But the protocol comes back for a flank. Waste on that clock. Rooney comes in from B main. Up at the top of mail, here's the first drop. Information on the second. Alerted are the other players inside the site for C9 from that flank. And it's 5 unanswered round nows for the attack.
All right, Bladestorm this round for Loud. Cloud9, however, looked drilled. They're looking drilled. This is incredible right now. Everybody is playing off the next teammate perfectly in these situations. We see just where that shot was on the pause a little after the wide swing from Zeppa, just brazenly of heaven into sight because he knew the team was coming in as well. That coordination is throwing Loud off of their timing. And then you spam Aspas through the wall. That's where we saw him really be able to shut down MIBR from their defensive side.
Defense.
That's such sake as well, their rehits aren't that long of a wait. They cut sound, maybe wait 10 seconds, and you see the stars going back down from Jake. So they're just trying to get Loud a little moved around, and it's starting to be enough. They don't even need a full push or pull to a site here.
An opportunity for redemption.
Oh my word.
Nice timing came out for a less. Couldn't get the kill. But we see Sadak with the judge, and that's gonna just keep C9 away from this Nebula at the beginning of the round. And that redemption also comes in with the Blade Storm activated for Aspa. It's a double push coming outside of A. So we're closing in now onto C9. C9 slowly pinned. You just need more delay now towards this B site. C9 just wants to go in with the showstopper.
Yeah.
Not even an overkill. They just want to use everything. Get the rounds in.
Really securing the round with an ultimate, right? It's just flexing muscles right now to make it into that site. It's where they've had most of their strength. The post plant, Cloud has not been able to touch Cloud9.
One enemy remaining.
Blade Storm was hurt earlier on. So C9 just looking for where Aspas is going to be coming from. Passive plays. Jake playing like he's part of a fair, but gets knocked down.
Blocking sight.
Smacked by Aspas. As the Blade Storm gets refreshed. Jump spot coming out from Leaf. Aspas still weary of a push coming out from Spawn, but this clock is running down. Wallbangs coming through. We're just looking for the highlight reels.
Yeah. It looks gonna look good. That'll probably be in there too. 6 rounds now for Cloud9. Even after the timeout from Loud, it was not able to stave off this pressure. Still hemorrhaging rounds here, and they survived the ultimates. The Blade Storm, the Operator round, and a few other ults that have been coming in now from the side of Loud. So the answers, a few more here, Seekers, and that Cosmic Divide. Less than Sadak to be just one off as well. Answers on the other side for Cloud9. And this Operator is back for Aspas, so another big investment round, full utility all around. Now 5 towards A.
Scout destroyed.
Cloud9 doesn't seem to be favoring the 1-4 or really worrying about the Loud push or flank. They're moving in on the site and backing each other up.
That's a play. A fault line to a Trailblazer. Satchel through Seekers to clear out the A site. No opportunity for Aspas to get any shots coming out from the Operator. Now playing from the back of the map. The barrel of the gun, a shot missing.
Another miss.
As Lip runs across for the entry into the B side as well. Well, fighting back towards the spawn. I mean, what can you really do for the last 2 players remaining from Loud?
Stars go down. They're just playing for safety. Again, another round that Loud is forced to just save guns. It's tough. Tuiz is going to look for a frag. They're looking for some ecos here. And this cannot continue to happen. If they buy the Operator, they need to see a return on investment. They need to see the frags. Van Silly, 7 rounds now for Cloud9. And talking about Aspas, those shots need to be hitting now. It seems a little too cold for the rate of this game.
And aiming on the run by right there. Inches for the 2nd time against Zeppa's run-in. Clearing out the heavens.
Always Zeppa.
Yep. Just slippery here on that raise. I gotta say, for a team that we saw in a pistol round for C9, opportunities for lurks, but there's a lot of chemistry that has to be done too. You look at the comp from C9, there's not a Viper lurk, it's not a Cypher lurk that you have, so you need the communication between Zelsis and Jake as well to pull those nebulas to allow Zelsis to get these lurks. But again, it's only been needed for pistol round. The rest has been a lot of just full site executions.
Exactly.
Flooding the same way that MIBR has been doing here. You know, they were able to flood into sites. Loud was able to shut them down. But for this game here for C9, it just seems to be too much utility to handle for Loud.
Here.
Plays towards mid. They feel confident now. They'll head up to try and go for these 1v1s. This is the first time in a while, like you said, they've been playing that kind of death ball strategy. We really see a 1-3-1 across the map from Cloud9. And no forward spaces be taken. So a different look here as well from Sadak, a slow push out. And if he times this right, that could be the play of the round if he can come around towards mid here and that turret's not activated.
Because Sadak was pushed all the way up towards garage. A full rotate comes out from Loud early with no information to gamble for a stack towards the A side. The fake's not going to work. Cosmic Divide, and it's ready for Aspas. The first blood onto Zelsis as Zelsis falls, but the rest of C9 are still moving in. Low on HP from all of the info coming out. Older util retaliated by Loud.
Spike
And they
down
answer
A.
back on an eco. Spike now down on a 4 versus 1. Jake's going to have to try to clutch this. Here's the first one, drops back in. 10 seconds left. Has to go for that spike. The flag for the swing. It's going to be too much. As Loud gets the thrifty for the first point into the game.
And yeah, locking it down on the thrifty. Very nicely done. The rotation not even needed there on the push, but Sadak was able to let the team know that it was probably a focus towards A. 2 backside this time. Loud very much in position to slow this one down, and they use util perfectly to delay this take. Loud on the board. Only takes 1, right? You got to get a few more now. 5 could be how many that is. 7 to 5 is definitely a pretty common score we see on split. And the operator is back in the hands of Aspas. So eyes on that. Playing it where we have seen Zeppa blast packing instantly. So this could get tricky. They play the Trailblazer up there. Might have seen just the shoulder of Aspas there.
An opportunity here for Loud to come back as they finally have also come in, and now shots are landing. First blood for Aspas there.
Wow.
Detain is going to be Jake as Thrash comes out for an aggressive B push. Rooney trying to save his teammate, countering back with the flashes. Double swing, double fight. Not going to work. As Rooney's looking to aim lab some more. Spike is now down towards B, and Seekers also spawns the last 2 players. So the lurk will not work here for Zeppa. The backstab, the flank, no go. And it's Loud all over this spike.
Loud trying something different this round.
Yeah.
A quick AO.
Zelsis pinned, cornered. A lockdown trying to push him away, but it's shot from both angles. And unfortunately falls. Allows Zeppa to gain some space. 1 versus 1 down towards the sewers, as that's less down to 11 HP. And 3 players just ready to greet Zeppa across. Breaking the crosshair placement, or at least an attempt to. Not gonna happen.
Flowed for Cloud9, and now that I think Loud has that confidence, we see a little bit more pushing through and oozing out.
And it's from everywhere. A main 2 rounds ago, B main last round, this time 4 players on mid. It's time for Loud to play the death ball on defense this time around. But as they forfeit mid, C9 also forfeit B main to try to fight back on this mid control.
Yeah, a lot of space has to be regained now. So this is good. Loud actually achieves quite a bit from pushing up and making sure that that space is unknown now for Cloud9. It definitely becomes a re-hit and a task to make it happen.
Blinded.
Setting up here potentially, there you go with the rolling thunder into the site.
Aspas, did he dodge?
Kawatsin didn't to his also didn't, but still gets a crosshair with Sadak. It's perfect for 2 more kills. And now with the Nebula, it forces the 2 players just to hold behind the smoke for C9. Finally, Zelsis moves in, long range for the kill, and Jake has to come in for a clutch on low HP. Decides to fall back instead.
Very interesting decision on the entry for C9. From what we've seen recently, just Zeppa blasting in. I think everybody looks like they took that first fight in heaven, not worrying about back, and the calls just did not come through. Loud punishes that. They get another round for themselves here, and the more that stay alive for these rounds, it's so good for Loud. They're trying to rebuild this economy. As I say that, the Casper curse rings true.
Oh no,
that's gonna be a hot foot.
Gets melted down. Riv, you got some caster praise going on, because when it was a 7-1 score, like, oh yeah, 7-5 is something that's common. I was like, I didn't look, it was going to be that's to go towards that direction with how C9's been playing, but Loud are starting to fight back.
It was a monumental shift in how Loud was playing. I think they were very accepting to giving Cloud9 a lot of space in the early rounds, allowing these flanks to happen without it, knowing now you, again, take that space. 1 round less goes up to A, you know it can be a focus towards B mid.
The timeout that came more onto lead. Yeah.
7 on attack feels nice. So C9 really racking up a few more here to kind of put a little padding in.
Look better at 7-0 though.
Look better, yeah. Right? You know, be damned. a big split here for Cloud9, a different look for them. Usually it's just one on that flank, but they do have both Jake and Zelsis over on that left side. So one of them I feel like is going to be left when the rotation comes through mid. And this A Heaven, I think it's going to be A Heaven stall here for Cloud9 to see how Loud reacts.
An opportunity to fight for a Heaven and go down ropes. Zeppa moving forward with the Stinger first. Pushed up by both initiators.
Oh, here's that
Towards
flank.
mid. Zedak hasn't been spotted, so he's in a great area here. Jump spot now. Jig is up. Zeppa getting ready for the backstab. Seeker's coming out too, and here's the footsteps falling away towards B Heaven instead. So no early advantage for C9, no capitalization on a rotation coming back from Sadak.
Yep.
But the Seeker still allows for C9 to take control towards B Heavens.
Sadak reading this well, playing patient. Easily could have walked into a few, but Cloud9, they are working the map so well here to figure out, take space, and make it difficult for Loud to actually read what's happening. Loud may be staying safe, but I feel like C9 has the upper hand here to crush the site. I think we have a full 5v5 retake on our hands coming up.
There's no stars available though for Jake. So we have open angles coming out for the defense.
Oh, what?
And the up comes in, Flash trying to push him out. Jake falls, 10 seconds left on the clock. We're looking for the plant. We'll get it on the top of A Heaven.
Molly on.
Time for Loud to fight back. Showstopper out towards screens. Zelsis gets the first contact inside fence. Immediately get traded out. And Les is closing in on A Heaven. 2 more players left on the defense, stuck inside the site. And it's the players with low weaponry. A Bulldog and a Stinger. From both the star players of Leaf and Zeppa, protecting each other, ABSing on the other. As it turns it over, Aspas has to go for a clutch now. Flash available, not needed. Leaf comes out. And C9 answer back.
What a round!
In the half.
Again, working the map well, but when it came down to it, it did look like Loud was okay for the retake. Like I said, it was gonna be big numbers for it. Util was flying, and numbers in favor of Loud here. This setup, honestly, it's the gamble that they don't push elbow. They knew the locations for a moment, what the timing could have been, and the miracles happen. Wow. Great stuff by Cloud9. Loud now pushed down to a possible 4 rounds only from this defensive side. They buy into this one. Operator for Aspas Cloudstorm to be, or Bladestorm rather, to be used. And they are getting a bit of a push again towards mid, but Cloud9 meets them right away.
One's just around the corner after shocking and a spray through the poison orb. Les falls, but there's still players for Loud inside mid.
I'm gonna need a tally on Jake and Rooney's through smoke shots and kills in their last 2 games. It's absurd, their timing and the angles they're firing at to get such a return on investment here with the mainly Phantoms, so return fire is almost obsolete or impossible for Loud. Now the focus towards mid sends Loud on a bit of a journey to see what they can find, and they've gambled towards B while Cloud9 is ready to hit A here. Cosmic Divide comes out.
Just good enough.
What?
Flash pushing the op away from Aspas. Cosmic Divide, as you called, Riv, and C9 moves into an open site. We have an early flank coming in. Footsteps will be heard as Cowdzine's trying to move up for the backstab.
Girly. Spike planted.
3 players now from Loud towards A main. All of C9 stuck inside the A site, looking to regain map control towards screens. Aspas updrafting, but not connecting with the Bladestorm. Trying to retake with the operator with the rest of the teammates. A trade-off happens from both teams. A 3 versus 3. As the spike is not planted really for C9, so they just have to win their duels.
1 enemy remaining.
Liker doesn't work. Jake on his own. Up to halfway. As now he has to move forward. Cannot get the kill onto Tui's. As Cowdzine goes for the defuse, and they do get the 4 rounds that they wanted.
They get the 4, they salvage the last few, but Van Silly, what a powerful round from Cloud9. I do not think Loud was expecting that, and it took them a little too long to right the ship.
Well, finally, Loud is fighting back, and hopefully the desk figured out what Loud's answer was. So, Mimi, what do you have to say?
Loud had some ideas.
In Loud, it is just such a good game plan early on from Cloud9 that helped to bolster this huge lead they built.
Extremities to fight for B main here, to push out, take this, set up the big X.
We saw Sadak pushing
White mentioned. Loud with Gecko, good attack. Right, and then if you remember the match last week here between Loud and IBR, it was a lot of these hits towards the top of the heavens, and then getting these plans for heaven with that wingman. Does C9 have an answer for that, or is Loud coming out with something new this week around?
We'll see. I think they had 4 successful wingman plans coming in through the round, which is actually pretty good if you think about it. Once the team starts to get aware of it, easy to stop. Looks like both will go. It's going to be a quick pickup as well in the rope room. Throw them in here for safety. A neat way to use them. A lot of times you'll see if there is a high wall or low wall, it'll be straight up. So it's always interesting to see how Sadak will retrieve that utility to be able to use again. Ready and raring. Rooney is set with the utility as the Trailblazer tries to find where Loud is. They did a very similar thing in their first round towards MIBR, so they're going to try to come up here to A Heaven and again lock that down. Second layer, drop in sight or head back to B.
Ready with the fault line is Rooney. Footsteps now being heard as the Loud is trying to take over A Heavens. Now gets cooped from Dizzy as the wingman comes down for an attempted plant at halfway, but it's not even needed. Somehow all the players of Loud just fall.
I was about to pray. I was like, oh, cloud burst on the wingman, and it's going to be ass in there. This is so cool. Oh, dear. Oh. And then, yeah, let's see it again, because that was quick.
Yeah, that's actually great util from Zelsis. Change too, if you look at how he was placing his KJ utility, the Killjoy utility is that turret, instead of being towards the flower pot, it's actually on behind the Viper wall to watch both the A ramp and vents.
Right.
So you could use the alarm bot to debuff so much here inside the A site.
Some sheriffs coming through. Mid work, let's see if they get one of these sheriff picks to hit. Leaves playing slow. They get distraction from the Roomba, and he almost gets his life taken there as they try to get the spam throw through the wall. Real spicy in mid for a moment, but CLOUD9 hold off on going too hard there.
Zeppo is actually trying to go hard into the paint. Yeah. The flash came out from Leaf, and he was chasing for those kills.
A little
The good old C9 way. A little bit of an overheat moment, but for Loud, it's still going to stay quiet. C9 looking for some information back into the mid-round. Starts with a flash-guided light into B Heaven that does spot at least one player from the point of view of C9 on defense.
They're grouping up with a Stinger, Les and Aspas. They're seeing if they can get this to work or at least trade and then follow up with another weapon that you would see Cowanzine grab. So this is the group. This push, however, coming in from Jake. I don't know if Jake's made a sound here yet, but that's a big call if Tuis is able to call it.
Still come in.
One enemy remaining.
Easy kill there as Cowanzine was low on HP, and they spot the last one on the top. Jake comes in with the ghost, the assist from the flash, closing into the players of C9, but Aspas still able to get one for his troubles before he gets dropped by C9, but that's now 2 in a row. Great pistol anti-eco once again for the defensive side, this time of CLOUD9.
Yeah. Big rounds to pick up, put the pressure on to Loud here, and those rounds become so difficult. Like, you gotta commend Loud for where they're going, how far they're lurking. They're getting the last bits of utility to almost get a frag, and C9 just continues to back up and play further and further away, so it makes it harder to take the site, especially on a save like that. So let's flip the script. CLOUD9 did take quite a bit of damage on that round, so they're gonna be on a low buy, even with the win. Bonus could be tough, and Loud is planning on it.
That's not a good way to start the round for a bonus for Rudy.
Here.
Sprayed through the toxic screen. Rifle still available for Zelsis. Strongest weapon that we have for C9 in this bonus. Lead force to play a little bit of a bait and switch here with Zeppa inside this A site. But for Loud, we're not looking to engage off the first pick that they've gotten. Falling back towards mid, towards even their spawn. Trying to see C9's gonna try to push forward. I think we're still trying to find the KJ utility as well for Loud.
I think one of the effective things about having the Sky and the Gecko comp too, it seems like they'll hit a little earlier than like pressure late into this round, but the more you pressure your opponent, it's usually one person in sight. So you throw all this util at, there's nothing they're gonna be able to do, and here they actually find an empty site with the fact that Rooney already went down.
The first wingman plant coming out from Loud. 4 B main. but nobody's playing that spot. Everybody's inside the site, and there's a late lurk from Les down towards sewers. 3 players of Cloud9 moving forward for the retake from spawn.
Concealment.
Celsius at B Heaven still waiting for this 1v1. Will win it against Les. Meanwhile, battle ensues towards the trade in the back of B site. Gravity Well, Nova Pulse coming out from C9 in the back. It works out for the stun, but the trade-off once again, and Calzine gets 2. Celsius looking to clutch, but gets denied right away by Twiz.
Important round for Loud. The confidence for the game overall. They ran a lot of the rounds when they played MIBR. I think Loud is kind of finding their first time where they have to question things that are happening here. They seem confident on that round, however, versus Cloud9. I almost thought the Gravity Well up top was going to give C9 the round because it wasn't used for a possible defuse, but patience pays off. They knew exactly what they were doing. And Loud, I think, knows they need to start taking a bit of more command in this game, or Cloud9 is just going to take everything away from them. Already pushing out towards B, and this isn't looking good here.
Oh! She gets the first kill, almost in time for Twiz to get the first one, but indeed it's C9's time to play aggressive. Seeker Zenth of spot information towards A main, allowing Celsius to get the pick off the Calzine. One more spotted towards the ramp, Nebula forces them back. And in the blink of an eye, early in this round, C9's up by 2 players.
Everybody playing real far back, not knowing if Sadak is going to grab one of these orbs and just throw Thrash at you. They don't know what's going to happen. See, the line of scrimmage for C9 is basically back along that defensive hallway. So really smart play here not to get contained or detained. And they'll just wait for the movement. Again, this is going to be that one of those Loud searching every cupboard and corner, nook and cranny to find a member of C9, and nothing's going to happen until they go to plant that spike, probably.
And they have to. Losing Twiz so early into this round is no smokes for them to get into the sites. So you're right, grabbing this orb could be important, but that would give your position away. So Loud's playing contact instead. A fight towards B Heaven as Aspaz drops in towards Hell. 2 players inside the site as players are falling down. Les is fighting in. 14 seconds left. There's only 1 player inside the site. Both players on the attack fully blinded from the flash from Leaf. And really just playing behind the box. A double swing. And that denies everything. A 1 versus 1, no time to plant. As that was a key swing coming out from C9 Rooney.
So I mentioned it last round from Loud. It wasn't the pressure cooker. But this time they went for one of those rounds. Obviously pushed back by C9, but trying to get those last seconds to be in their favor. Cloud9 was already anchoring that B site on the gamble. Timeout here for Loud to come through. And again, we're saying Loud's being active. Saying Loud's taking control of things, and then Cloud9 comes flying out of B main just to grab the first one and be able to convert coming into that 5v4. Got sticky, but they found it in the end. Really fantastic play so far. Leaf and 11 to 5 off this.
I liked it though, I liked it.
Round 17 as we get in. It looks like A is left open for full util, maybe. Wait, so it's gonna play between all the utility as mid gets thrashed right away. There's no waiting to be had.
Just trying to clear towards vents. Leaf looking back down, trying to salvage the thrash, but Leaf is once again there. No dancing could escape.
It's getting
Loud
silly.
from the trap here left by Leaf. Indeed, it is crazy. As it's crazy aim coming out from the defender of Cloud9.
Thrash is ready.
Again, and even the patience they're doing. It's something to mention about how C9 even defended this round is incredible. We're focusing right now on how this one plays out with 1 minute left. Sadak goes back into that vent. They try to look for a small re-hit with already the play from Les getting clearance on ramp.
Especially with the thrash that came out. Early control from Loud on both heavens. Just hoping to punish somebody from C9, and they're able to punish Leaf. Peeking out from Matt. A swing coming out from 2 players of Cloud9 as Zeppa falls. Les is coming in the fight.
Oh my.
Swinging around back in favor of Loud. They're at the player advantage. No wingman available, so we have to commit into the plant.
3v2.
Twiz on the top, making sure nobody else rotates over. Plant will be safe. Well, maybe not. Gravity well forces him out.
10 seconds
Now
left.
he's gonna go for the default instead.
Welcome to my world.
Wow. They're looking to fully secure this round. No chances, but again, Viper's Wall will give space too. Zelsis moving into sight. It's the damage Zelsis will take moving through is what they're hoping for right now.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna push onto A ramp alone, or together rather.
Spotting it through. Zelsis comes in for a kill if he can. Has the lockdown if he wants it. There's not too much time left on the clock. So he's just looking to make the last few players allowed lose their weapons, make it expensive into the next. Actually, the economy is very low for both of these teams into this round, so a huge swing round. Losing both of these guns for Loud would be huge for C9 into the next. But at the end of the day, it's still a round coming in for Loud.
Title of that round, Say Less. On it, like, what a play coming in there. I wanted to mention C9's defense. We saw Killjoy playing all the way in the back. It didn't come into play, but the setup for C9 was to be ready for Thrash. Leaf was there to play it. We saw the Killjoy here, but it didn't matter. Even if the rotation was quick from C9, Les just stopped it in its tracks. So all that set up for nothing is what I'm trying to say, because Les just played that round so well. Coming up on the scoreboard for himself too, using the ult to secure that round, so they have to look for another way to get through on this one for C9's defense. And here they come with a Sheriff round to capitalize on grabbing their own ult doors. One away for Rooney to Rolling Thunder. Loud out of sight.
Rooney with the Sheriff.
Holy util.
Into this round, or picked up as you mentioned, but that Sheriff is gonna be very deadly if Loud looks to work towards his B site. On the other end, C9 has that hero rifle safe in that previous round from Zelsis. Also a lockdown available for the retake. Depending how this round sets in for the pulse plant, could be a very important ult.
Deja vu.
Second time that happens.
Yep.
Full line, step up moves out. Wow. What an assist by Rooney.
What a little counterplay right there. If they can grab that, it's huge. It almost needs to be protected, but Kalenzi gets pushed out. And yeah, you see Zeppa going back up to see if they can focus grabbing that Phantom.
Not this time around. Rooney falls instantly. Zeppa long range with the frenzy. Can't do any damage at all at that distance. Another plant comes in for B main.
Obscuring vision.
Nice push by Loud. Slowly moving in to see what kind of trickery Cloud9 has set up, knowing that this defense has to be worried about. We saw even on the previous round ultimate used by Les just to secure it. They are worried about what C9 can do.
They picked up a weapon. So gets the first blood for the retake attempt for C9.
Player standing.
But Sadak stops him in his tracks. Zelsis no timing behind. So this is going to secure the round for Loud to bring it up at 7. Oh,
Nice.
nice little flick by Sadak.
More comfort from Loud here. C9 may be pushing, but Loud is also activating on a different side of the map, or at least responding much better now. Looking great as they come through full buy here. Maybe a few less buys, just due to the fact that they've been losing members throughout the rounds. But I'd say it's definitely starting to even out in the way you think the rounds are going to go when you see Cloud9 still have quite a few ready. And we're getting those wingman plans again, so we'll see how they procure a few more of those for the crowd.
Engaging early in this round. Flash comes out from the bottom of the attack side. Just gonna keep C9 in their tracks as they've stacked a lot of players towards mid. Loud change of pace into this round though. Lots of progression up towards the A ramp, breaking their early utility from Zelsis.
We see a bit of a quicker rotation now from 2E's. They're not noticing a big flank, and if anything, it might be coming through sewers. So Loud is actually gathering a lot quicker than previous rounds here. It looks like they want to just get into more of an activate on-site form and have everybody ready for it. Drawing out some great util to make this easier with that Killjoy util away from Zelsis. The lockdown's going to be forced out.
Trying to slow things down.
Oh, wait!
Yeah, that's gonna get stopped by the mod pit. Nicely thrown here.
Oh, wow.
Still Rolling Thunder available for the retake. Plant comes in and Loud understands that everybody's falling out from the A site, playing towards the A ramp for the take, and it's planted for them too. It only affects one player on the Rolling Thunder, and here comes the Dizzy in the back, and it's still a trade-off. Zeppa still answering onto CLOUD9. 3 players now at the top for Loud. Nice shot by Jake. Only less Intui's trying to clutch this for Loud. And stay into this fight. Snake bite onto the ground. Cosmic Divide about to disappear. And it's just Zeppa on his own. Showstopper close. Lands it onto the left. Rose. The fuse comes in. A C9 or now a map point.
That point here on Split, where we saw Loud really orchestrate a beautiful Gecko match with Sadak against MIBR, and C9 just come in looking to run the show and send a message on map 1. Huge round by Zeppo to pick up this kill and be able to just shut that down. Cloud9 is honestly looking on form for how little time they've had together.
Agreed.
It's almost like Loud is having trouble kind of figuring out this free-flowing squad, right? Where they're pushing. Also, shout out to Rooney on that round. He did have a Sheriff grab the orb that made that Rolling Thunder possible for the retake.
Game plan was perfect, and indeed for this round as well. No players detained as the Thrash came out on the attack to answer back on C9's aggression. Defensive Seekers spawning 2 players towards mid. But that's just to allow the rotate to come in from Leaf to heal up his teammates and reposition the defense on the player advantage.
Just trying to draw fights. Draw util.
Thrash available again.
But where do they use it, right? Even Loud personally can't find where these members of Cloud9 are here.
Have to use
Back
it
and
here.
forth.
Can't drop it in events back up the ropes, right? So
Yeah. Thrash is done.
Star towards the back. 1v1 long range. Nice shot by Jake as he gets stinked himself by 140 Phantom to his. Answer back by a snake bite. Plant now coming down for Sadak's wingman. As no lurk comes in, no flank for C9.
3v3.
Rooney once again with the Sheriff. Headshot and scene, it's only less. Moving up, making a lot of noise. Spotted by Rooney again. A 2 versus 1. Pink shells to come up. Makes it a 1v1. An ace would be perfect to keep the dream alive. As now as he swings